Welcome back to another video. Yes, I have returned from my holiday break thing. It was fun to be in the actual hot sun, but yes, now that I have returned, the upload schedule is still a go. I haven't given up on the weekly uploading schedule thing yet. No, why would I say that? Knock on wood. We come on. But yeah, I also posted a video to my second channel, so you know, check that out. Let's just get straight into Reddit's darkest posts 2, part 2. Slugs. In March 2020, SmallBean197 posted to the relationships subreddit. The post read, "My partner has been putting slugs in my food for the past 2 weeks." And this is only the first post. I don't want to do this. I, 22F, have been with my partner, 24M, for 4 years now. I have never known him to do anything like this, but I noticed he started acting a little strange around a month, maybe a month and a half ago. He started putting fruit on the floor in the garden, and I thought it was a bit weird, but he said he was feeding the mice family that have nested in our shed, so I thought it was sweet and helped him to do so. Anyway, he started being really nice to me around 2 weeks ago and was making me food, baking me cakes and stuff, which he never usually cooks ever, so I was happy he found a hobby. She claimed that every time her significant other would cook for her though, afterwards she would feel dizzy and sick, but she just thought that it was due to hormones or lack of sleep. Anyways, a friend of my partner's came into my work today. I work in a cafe, and said he needed to speak to me when I was free. I was free as there wasn't any customers at this time. He told me that my partner had been collecting slugs from the garden on fruit he has been putting out there and putting them in my food. He even sent his friend pictures of a bag of slugs he had collected and a picture of blended slugs. I feel really sick to my stomach. I don't understand why he would do this. This is so out of character for him. I asked him why he was doing it, and he accused me of snooping through his messages, which I would never do. He got so angry at me for not being able to take a joke. I feel disgusting. I love him to pieces, but I just don't understand his way of thinking just now. Am I overreacting? I don't know what to do. I feel lost. Bro, if I catch my partner putting blended slugs in my food, it's an issue. Like, I'm so serious. What? I really hope that this didn't lead to this person having like trust issues or something in relationships, because it would probably make me have some trust issues for sure. Because that's up. That's up, man. I Spy. In early 2022, user Cash22 posted to the r/confession subreddit. Their post reads, "I spy on my soulmate. As long as they have their phone on them, they go to the store, I can see. They're at home, I can see. I check very often, seeing where they are. I just like to feel close to them, even when we are not physically close. And I like to think about what they're doing. The only downside is I can't see them. Sometimes I think I want to make them a plushie and hide cameras in the eyes so that in their bedroom I can see them sleep. But I'm worried that they may get changed there. If they do and then they find out I put cameras there, they'd feel like I spied on something too personal, even though it isn't my intent. And I want to lock them up in a cage in the basement, also lined with cameras, so I can watch them when I'm busy. They're so cute." Obviously, this could be bait. I don't know why you would make a fake post saying all this, because I mean, that's a crime. This isn't the only post that this person has made, so I want to study my beloved so I can make a cage perfectly suited for them, so they will develop Stockholm syndrome in there while listening to songs with messages about love and kidnap and romance all in one all the time, and come see them and be nice to them and care for them, protect them for love. Bro, that is not love. That is a crime. That's illegal. That's kidnapping. Bro, I don't know about this. There's even more. Like, Cash22, you got some issues, and I don't want any part in them, okay? Good. I want to keep my partner locked up in my basement. I began cataloging my partner's interests and aesthetic choices more than usual because we started making plans to move out together, because I want to make a safe haven for them in the basement. I'm not going to lock them up against their will. And of course, we are going to share a normal bed together like any couple. I know which carpet they have in their current room, their favorite brands of consumables, the media they're a fan of, and their favorite plushies, just to keep them safe from the outdoor world if I have to go away to work work and can't bring them. I would love to hire them eventually so we don't have to be apart, but I kinda have my business on the back burner right now. It's not very big or active. Let them stay in there locked safely with cameras so I can be sure they're okay and they can have fun while being safe. They can text me too, keep their phone and everything. I'm not interested in controlling their entire life. I know it's probably weird, but I just want to keep them safe to the point where I think about this almost constantly. I know it's probably weird. Weird is the greatest understatement for this situation, dog. Their whole account is deleted at this point and their posts are all deleted because people started taking notice of them. Like this person. Cursed account. He's dead serious. I know it. He's been going on for weeks now and I think someone's in danger. And I mean, as these posts go on, they just get worse. Cause I have a strong desire to kidnap my partner. I can't sleep sometimes because it bothers me that they're not with me. Whenever they do anything where I'm not there, I don't stop them because I respect their autonomy. I have the urge to just lock them away from the world in a containment room, chamber, or cage so that I can always have them to myself. When they tell me about things they want or enjoy having, my brain sometimes drifts away to thoughts of how to implement those things into my own space so that I could hold them captive here in a way that would be least painful for them. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I am obsessed with the idea. It's constantly on my mind and hard to ignore, but I don't want to do this to hurt them. Just keep and protect them. Okay. Yeah. First things first, there's been a lot of people that have been saying that this guy, they're not even in a relationship with this person. You could probably put two and two together. They are definitely not in a relationship with this other person. It's definitely just a friend. Like stuff, it's stuff like this. Like these type of posts always get me going because they're foul, bro. Because this is like real life. I mean, it's Reddit, you know, it could be fake. You know, we'll give Reddit the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I wouldn't trust anyone on Reddit. Like, stalker landlord. In March 2021, you/sleepy and worried posted to the RBI subreddit. She wrote, "Is my landlord watching me? I am a 26-year-old female living alone for the first time. My landlord has always felt a bit off to me. He's a man in his late 40s and has never been holding back with comments about the way I look. When I moved in, he was very clear about me not touching the 2 fire alarms in my bedroom and hallway. He justified it by saying they were directly connected with the fire department and if I would try to do anything to them, I would cause an alarm. The alarm in my bedroom has always made me feel weird. It makes a lot of noises, especially at night, almost sounding like a remote controlled car and sometimes making a very muffled beeping sound. I brought it up to him once and he said that it was nothing, and if it shouldn't make more problems I should call him. But other things kept happening. I just felt more and more like something was off. But at the same time, people kept telling me I was overthinking things and scared since it's my first time living alone. The first thing that felt off to me was when I was renovating to move in. I grabbed the wrong shade of the color I wanted for my bedroom and it ended up looking a bit too bright on the wall I tested it on. A few days later during a phone call, he snapped at my parents about how horrible the pink was I was using in my bedroom and if I was crazy. I had not let him inside my place, so I was very confused, but kinda brushed it off as me walking around in paint-covered clothing. But things got weirder after that. During January last year, I spent a day with my parents, and when I came back, something felt off. I couldn't pinpoint it, and no one was inside my apartment, but I realized after walking into my bedroom a second time, one of the drawers under my bed was pulled out, and I don't remember even touching it. Again, I brushed it off mainly because my parents told me I probably just forgot, and I kinda ended up feeling ashamed for ever bringing it up. Months later during the summer, I took part in a gaming night on a friend's Discord server, and when I finally hopped off to go to bed at 4 a.m., I came into my bedroom to see my underwear drawers open. I panicked and called my mom because she lived close by, and I wasn't sure if someone was still in my apartment. After that, I installed a door lock and got an alarm for the time I spent at home. I suspect my landlord has a second key and now probably wasn't able to get inside anymore, but that didn't cover the time when I'm not at home. Sometimes when I come back, furniture in my bedroom is slightly moved, but at this point my family keeps telling me I just forgot I moved it, and I'm too ashamed to keep bringing it up. I know I sound insane, but is it possible to have cameras installed in the fire alarms? Could I call the fire department in their non-emergency number just asking if they can take a look at it because of the weird noises? I really want my peaceful life back. Constantly knowing someone might have been in here in the past while I slept is really creeping me out and making me want to cry. Do you have any advice on what I should do? Now, she did link a picture to the alarm, but the link doesn't even lead you anywhere. And yeah, this is pretty foul, and yes, in case you were wondering, the fire alarm was fake. No German fire alarm, which by the way is where she lives. No German fire alarm is connected to the fire department directly. That just doesn't make any sense. So like, what's wrong with you, bro? What is wrong with you? Why are some people like this, bro? poisoned by mom. In August 2015, user poisoned by mom posted to the r/offmychest subreddit. Their post reads, "My mother has poisoned me. Ever since I became an adult about a decade ago, my mother has been against me moving out of the house. I finally got a job as a line cook 3 years ago. My mother and the rest of the family, which includes my sister and father, have been against it, mainly saying that such a job cannot sustain me," which was true. They also said that I would hate working, which turned out to be false. About a year and a half later, I quit due to health reasons. Following spring, I got a new job as a computer programmer. While they seemed supportive at first, my mother and sister, who I lived with, gradually became hostile. Eventually, I moved out of the house. About a month later, I lost my job. And about 3 months later, I moved back home. Everything was cool at first, but as I was getting calls from recruiters and going to job interviews, they gradually became more hostile again, accusing me of being distant and not caring for them. However, they seemed to be very controlling and hateful of the fact that I wanted to move out and wanted a decent job. So last month, I finally got that job as a programmer again, but it was out of town. I had just enough money to relocate to the new city. They became very hostile starting a few days before I left, accusing me of not loving them or hating them. On the day before I was scheduled to leave, my mother gave me 2 of the styrofoam ramen noodles cups and tore that cardboard covering that normally comes with it and threw it away. I was suspicious that they would try to sabotage my life, so I was careful in not trying to anger them. She gave me a few more food items which I didn't use to take on the trip with me. When I arrived at my new city and entered my hotel room, I chilled out. I was to go to work the next day. So after the first day at work, I ate a cup of ramen noodles and felt ill. I knew that feeling because my sister fed me something that made me feel the same way in late 2011, which I then assumed was because of my recent illness. I felt weak, lightheaded, and had shortness of breath. I drank water to make me feel better because that's what I did last time that happened to me. Over the week, my mother kept calling me, making sure to remind me to eat my ramen noodles. I was short on cash then, waiting for my first paycheck. I never told her that I ate it. I suspected then that I had been poisoned, and after doing some googling, believed it was cyanide. Now that is something you should never have to think, that your own mother would do that to you. So I resisted that thought because I simply could not bear to think that. So I went to cyanidetest.com and ordered a kit. And I tried it. Now look at the graphics and the video on this page. Now the page that he linked is a 404. What was on here, we will never know. Now here are the results of my test, which cyanide detected. I guess I'm going to have to call the cops, and I will never speak to my family again. Update. 8:45 a.m. I'm currently in Topeka, Kansas. I work downtown in a government office building which has a police department. I visited the Capitol Police Station here and spoke to an officer. I showed him the evidence and he said that he could do nothing about it since the package was opened and might have been contaminated. So does anyone have ideas? That's honestly a nightmare scenario kinda. Imagine that happening. Honestly, I'm interested in like more backstory because there's no way your family just hates you like that, you know? I don't know. He says that ever since he became an adult, this has been happening, but that's such a nightmare, man. Imagine your own mother poisoning you. Man, I enjoy making these type of videos, these Reddit's Darkest Post video. I enjoyed making the first part, and I enjoyed recording this one, right? It's just nice. It feels like a story time session, you know? Sit down, get some tea, whatever, hot chocolate. Let me read you these stories about horrible people real quick. So, yeah. See ya.